Hi guys, welcome back. I'm so excited. We're working our way through the rainforest and I brought my little friend here. What do you think he is? Yeah, he's a sloth. This is, yeah, Sly the sloth. Look at him. Say hi, Sly. Hi. Oh, he's very excited. He's going to be with us today in our rainforest. Okay, but I'm going to have him sit over here so I can concentrate. Yes, he has to sit over there. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, he doesn't like to let go. You have to let go, Sly. All right, we'll put him over here. He likes to hang on my chair. All right, you can watch from over there. All right, I wanted to go through the rainforest layers. And I have my poster over here. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, my poster over here. And I want to see if you remember how to do the 4 layers. Do you remember what they are? What's that top layer called? Yeah, the emergent layer. Yeah, that's where all the nests are and branches that stick out, right? Yeah, so that's the emergent layer. It's way up there at the top, okay? And then this group of trees that are together, they kind of look like an umbrella. Do you remember what that's called? Yeah, that's called the canopy. That's where all the animals like to be. If they want to have some fruits or nuts, they'll find them in the trees there and swing from branch to branch for the trees. All right, and then under there in this dark, shady area, it's called the understory. And then way at the bottom, you have the forest floor, right, where it's super dark. And the soil actually in the forest floor is only about 2 inches. Look, this much soil. Yeah, tree roots have to stretch all the way out to get some water and to stand because there's really not a lot of soil, which is really, really strange, I know. So, but that's also where all the rivers are too, where a piranha or a caiman or some of those animals that like to be in the water, that's where they would hang out, okay? All right, so I have some animals and you have to guess which layer do you think they would belong in. Now, it's gonna be tricky because some of them can go in several different layers. So you have to just make the best guess, okay? All right, I have a vampire bat. Now, a lot of kids think that a vampire bat's gonna come and suck our blood. Really, vampire bats do drink blood, but from animals. So they will bite an animal and they will drink their blood. That's what they eat. But guess what? They don't live here in Arkansas, so don't have to worry about it. And it's not like the vampire movies where he turns into a Dracula or anything. All right, so that's a silly story. All right, so this is a vampire bat. Where do you think he hangs out? I'll give you a hint. He can fly. Yeah, so he's not going to hang out at the understory, and he's not going to hang out on the forest floor. Yeah, he may be in that canopy looking for some animals to bite, or he could be at the emergent layer trying to find a bird or animal to bite. But what do you think? What would be the best area to put him in? Yeah, I think either the canopy or the emergent layer. I'm going to put him in the canopy because there's just like a bigger area. So he probably spends most of his time in the canopy. All right. How about this Hercules beetle? These beetles can get super big, like giant, the size of a dinner plate. Yeah. Can you imagine a bug coming at you that was the size of your dinner plate? Yeah, that's crazy. Well, that's the Hercules beetle. Where do you think he goes? Yeah, he might be on the ground. He can climb, but he doesn't climb that high. He's going to go on the forest floor. Maybe by the logs and the trees at the bottom. Huh, yeah. All right, let's try one more today. How about this iguana? You might be surprised about the iguana. He does have sharp claws. He can climb. He doesn't climb super high. He's kind of slow. He likes to lay in the sun. What do you think? Yeah, he would actually find a branch probably to hang on to and to lay on and catch insects. Probably in the understory in the sunny spot. Yeah, if you can find some sun coming through the trees. So we're going to put him in the understory because he probably can't get up to the canopy, and we know he can't get up to the emergent layer. Good. How'd you do on that? Good. You're going to have your chance to put the animals in the proper layers because I have this page for you in your packet. Okay, here's the animals. You can color them and cut them out, and you're going to glue them where you think they belong. The best part about this page is the animal names are there, so you could read them and figure it out. But try to guess first, based on the animal's body and what their abilities are, like if they can fly or crawl or if they can't, because that will give you a better clue. Okay, so do that activity. That'll be a fun thing for you guys to try. And I do have a story for you today. It's called The Great Kapok Tree. But before we start it, we're going to do something called Author's Purpose, because authors write stories for all different reasons. And I have this poster over here, so let me take you over here. I have this pie poster, I call it. And the reason it's called a pie poster is because it's shaped like a pie. And you have one of these in your packet. And you have P means persuade, because sometimes authors write stories for you to persuade you to do something, to vote for them, to get you on their side, okay? So they persuade you to do something. So that's what the P in pie is for. Sometimes authors want to give you information, like facts, nonfiction, just the facts, Jack. Yeah, so they might want to give you some information. So I is for information. All right, E is a little bit trickier. E is for entertain you. Just to tell a silly, happy, funny story. Fiction stories are usually just to entertain us and to make us laugh, or like even make us cry. Like sometimes we like to read a romance book because they are just so interesting and they entertain us. And sometimes they make us cry or feel a certain way. All right, so author's purpose is as easy as pie. P to persuade you to do something sometimes. I to give you information, facts. Or E, just to entertain you and make you laugh and tell you a silly story. So every time we read a book this week, I'm going to ask you, what do you think the author's purpose is? And you have to think about that pie and think about why they would want to write that story. Okay? Easy as pie. All right, this is called The Great Kapok Tree. And it takes place, the setting is in the rainforest. That's why I picked it. And if you look very closely, you're going to see tons of animals. All right. At the end of the book, I'm going to ask you, why do you think the author wrote this story? And you have to come up with a reason. Okay? Oh, I didn't realize there's some sticky notes in here. All right. Two men walked into the rainforest. Moments later, the forest had been alive with sounds of squawking birds, howling monkeys, but now it was quiet. And the creatures were just watching the two men and wondering why they had come. The larger man stopped and he pointed at the kapok tree. There's that kapok tree. Look how tall it is. This is a grown man, and this is the kapok tree. Wow. Why do you think they came? You'll see. Not for good, I bet. Let's see. The smaller man took an axe that he was carrying and struck the trunk of the tree. Whack, whack, whack. The sound of the blows rang through the forest. The wood of the tree was hard, but chop, chop, chop. The man just wiped the sweat that ran down his face and kept chopping. Whack, chop, whack, chop. Soon the man grew tired. He sat down to rest at the foot of the great kapok tree. Before he knew it, the heat and the hum of the forest had lulled him to sleep. Do you see that boa right there? Look at that. Yeah, and a macaw. Yeah. So he's not there for a good reason, is he? He's trying to cut down that kapok tree. Why would he want to do that? It's so beautiful. I know. All right. Here comes a visitor. Look at the visitors. That's that emerald tree boa and an anaconda right in his ear. A boa constrictor. Oh, it's a boa constrictor. This one is a boa. I know that's an emerald tree snake, and I see a little bit of an iguana, but this is a boa constrictor. They're the ones that squeeze their prey. He slithered down the trunk where the man was sleeping. He looked at the gash the axe had made in the tree. The huge snake slithered very close, and he hissed, "Senor, This tree is a tree of miracles. It is my home where generations of my ancestors have lived. Don't chop it down. I think I know the reason of this story. The author's purpose. A bee buzzed in the sleeping man's ear. Senor, my hive is in the kapok tree, and I fly from tree to tree and flower to flower collecting pollen. That's helpful, isn't it? In this way, I pollinate all the trees and flowers throughout the forest. They're super helpful, aren't they? Yeah. See all the different kinds of butterflies? Wow, look at these monkeys. A troop of monkeys scampered down from the canopy. They were in the canopy. Senor, we have seen the ways of men. You chop down one tree and then you come back and you chop down another and another and another. The roots of these trees will wither and die, and there will be nothing left. No place that's beautiful on earth. And when the heavy rains come, the soil will be washed away and it will become like a desert. Yeah, it kind of erodes the land, like washes the land away. So that's what they're worried about. All right, next come the birds. Look at that. All these different kinds. There's the toucan, right? A toucan, a macaw, a cock of the rock, which is this guy. Senor, squawked the toucan, you must stop. Stop. Do not cut down the tree. We have flown all over the rainforest and seen what happens if you chop down trees. Many people settle on the land. Then they set fires and clear the underbrush, and then soon the forest disappears. That's true too. Oh, my favorite page, and I'll have to show it to you, both pages. Look. All the frogs, poison dart frogs, red-eyed tree frogs. Look at them all. They're so cute. A bright and small tree frog crawled along the edge of a leaf. In a very squeaky voice, he piped up in the man's ears. Senor, a ruined rainforest means ruined lives. You must leave. Leave. You will leave many of us homeless if you chop down this great kapok tree. That's true. The animals will have nowhere to live if you cut it down, huh? Ooh, somebody scary. Yeah, look at him. A jaguar who had been sleeping along the branch. Right here, look, in the understory. Let's see. Because his spotted coat was blending in with the shadows of the understory, no one even noticed him. I bet you he is camouflaged. Now he leapt down and padded silently over to the man. Senor, the kapok tree is the home to many animals and birds. If you cut down the tree, how will I find my dinner? He eats all those little animals that live there. You know what this animal is? That's a porcupine. 4 tree porcupines swung down from the branches. Senor, do you know what animals and humans both need in order to live? Oxygen. And if you cut down the oxygen trees, we won't have any oxygen. If you cut down the forest, you will destroy all that gives us life. Yeah, plants give us oxygen to breathe, the good air. Look at these anteaters. Ooh, look at him. Several anteaters climbed down the kapok tree with their young babies clinging to them. Look, on their backs. Senor, you are chopping down the tree with no thought about the future. And surely you know that what happens tomorrow depends on what you do today. The big man tells you to chop down the beautiful tree. He does not think of his own children. And tomorrow, without a world with trees. That's true. They're not thinking about the future, are they? Here's the sloth. Did you know a sloth looks like this? Yeah, just like my friend over here, Sly. A 3-toed sloth had been clinging and climbing down from the canopy when the men first appeared. Only now did he finally reach the ground. It takes him a long time. There he is. Yay! Let's see. Senor, how much is beauty worth? Can you live without it? If you destroy the beauty of the rainforest, what will you feast your eyes on? You know, the rainforest is just beautiful to look at. That's what he's saying. And then finally, a child from one of the tribes. Did you know people live in the rainforest? Yeah, the tribes, the people live there. He murmured in his ear, "Señor, when you awake, please, please take a look upon us and look at us with new eyes." And this is a tapir over here. Look, there he is. Which kind of looks like a wild pig, doesn't he? Yeah, he's a tapir. Now look, when the man wakes up, he told him to look with new eyes at all the animals that live there. The man awoke with a start, and before him stood a rainforest child and all the animals around him, all the creatures that depended on the great kapok tree. What a wondrous and rare animals they were. The man looked about him and he saw the sun streaming through the canopy. Spots of bright, glowing flowers that looked like jewels amidst the dark forest. Strange and beautiful plants were dangling in the air. All those vines, probably. The man smelled the fragrance of all the perfume from the flowers. He felt a steamy mist rising from the forest floor. But he heard no sounds, for all the creatures were strangely silent. They're kind of waiting to see what he does, to see if he's going to chop that tree down again. I don't know. He stood up, he picked up his axe, he swung his arm through, ready to strike the tree, but then suddenly he stopped. He turned and he looked at the animals and the child. You think he's going to do it? You think he's changing his mind? I think so too. It says he hesitated. That means he stopped. And then he dropped the axe and walked out of the rainforest. I bet those animals were very happy. Good job. All right, why do you think the author wrote this story? This beautiful story with beautiful pictures. Was it... Dropped all my stuff. Do you think it was to persuade us? What do you think? P is for persuade us to do something. I to give us information, or E to entertain us, to tell us a silly story. What do you think? This one's a little bit harder. Yeah, it was to persuade us. It was the man, or the animals were trying to persuade the man to do something or to not do something. Do you remember? Yeah, they were saying, please don't cut down the tree. And they gave lots of reasons why you shouldn't cut down the tree. So they were persuading him not to cut down the tree. So we're going to put the name of this book, The Great Kapok Tree. Write it down. You might have to stop the video to write it down. The Great Kapok Tree. You're going to put the name of that, the title, right here on letter P, because it was to try to persuade us to not cut down the tree. Okay? And then hold on to this, because each day when we read a book, we're going to try to decide what the author's purpose was. Okay? All right. We hope you enjoyed your lesson. I know it was a long one, but there was lots of information in there. And you got to meet my new little friend. All right, say goodbye. Tell them to keep learning. Good job.